And good morning, everyone. Joe Justice here, coming to you live from Charleston, West Virginia. I got a new shirt, a new Dad Bod shirt, like that. I thought I'd class it up a little bit with a T-shirt instead of with the tank top, since I thought maybe it was turning people off a little bit since I was being sloppy and just wearing the shirt that I wear for my workout. I thought, you know what, I'll class it up a little bit. Go to a T-shirt so that people feel a little bit more, like I'm putting in a little bit of effort today, instead of being lazy. So I thought I'd bring the quality up just a notch. What do you guys think about that? So today, I want to first make the promise that I always make. If you're a dad and you give me just 10 minutes a day, I will be sure to get you closer to your goals if you just do what I say. And I learned a long time ago to never tell a woman what to do. But if you are a woman, you're welcome to listen as well. So today, I was wanting to talk about basically logging your day and kind of this overall concept that I learned a long time ago on what gets measured gets managed. So one of the most important things you can do to achieve any goal at all is to measure the activity. Now that's a really important thing to understand. So let's keep it simple and let's do the kind of thing that most people are wondering about, and they say they want to lose weight. So if you want to lose weight, the absolute first step that you can go through is to write down everything that you eat that day. Do that for a week. It's not that hard. You think that it's going to be very difficult. You're going to fight me on it. You're going to say, I can't write down everything. But trust me, it's not that difficult at all. All you have to do is take a little journal with you. And this is the key. This is the trick. Don't wait till the end of the day. Don't try to remember what you ate. Actually write down everything that you eat that day. So that includes, if you walk by your office snack room and you get a handful of trail mix, make sure you write that down. If you, go past the free samples, at the grocery store and you grab one, make sure you write that down. What you'll find when you start to measure your food consumption and you start working on losing weight, a lot of people, what they find, they'll say things like, oh, I hardly ever eat anything. Oh, I only eat, lunch, and then I have a really light dinner. And what they'll find as they start to measure it, as they start to write things down, they're eating way more than they think that they're eating, because eating becomes a habit, and eating just becomes kind of part of something that you do, and you don't even measure it consciously. It all goes back to the thing that I keep on drilling into people over and over and over again is hunger. What you think of as hunger isn't really hunger at all. Hunger, cravings, which is, what you think of, you think you're hungry when it comes to cravings. They're not really hunger. They're psychological. They're all in your head. You're not really hungry. Your body doesn't really need the food. And in a very, very similar way, you're not really eating. You're just kind of going through the motions. This is like your subconscious, like, oh, there's food, grab it, put it in my mouth. Oh, there's food. You don't even think about it. It's not even occurring to you that you're eating. Let me give you this example. Have you ever, let's say you got you go to the fridge and you see like a piece of pie and you think, oh man, that's so good. And then you grab the piece of pie and you put it on a plate and you go to sit down to eat it, but then somebody calls, you get a phone call. And then this is going to be a long phone call. So you go ahead and you start talking to the person, and you're sitting there talking to them, and then, you kind of take a little bite. And then you're sitting there talking to them, yeah, you take another little bite, yeah. And then all of a sudden, like, you hang up the phone and like your pie's just gone. Like, where'd it go? You don't even know, you don't even remember eating it. Like, it never even occurred to you. It's like it was there, you had a phone call, and now it's gone. Well, that's what happens to you most of the day. Most of the day, that's the way that you're eating. Most of the day, you walk by the snack table and you just grab something and you throw it in your mouth, and then you see the soda machine, get a soda, drink it. You walk past somebody's got some some food and like, oh, here, try a bite of this. Never have you ever tried this food from this restaurant before? You take a bite of it, and before you know it, you've eaten 2,000 calories, and you like don't even like if you were to sit down and write down that at the end of the day, you wouldn't even record any of that stuff. You wouldn't think, well, that's not eating, that's not food. I didn't really eat any of that stuff, but you did. So that's where measuring comes in. That's where writing things down. Just get a small journal. That's all you need. Just a small journal that you can carry around with you, and then start writing that stuff down, and start writing your food down, and all of a sudden you'll start to see exactly what I'm talking about. You'll start to see lots of things cropping up. Now, the other advantage to doing that that's actually really interesting is if you start writing things down, that will become a self-selecting group. So you might see some chips or something like that, like a bag of chips, and you'll think, oh, I don't want to write that down. I don't want to add that to my list of foods, so I'm not going to eat those. Well, that right there is a big win. Just the process of writing things down is going to give you an advantage, because you're not going to want to admit that you ate that, right? So you're not going to eat it. So there you do. You just saved yourself a whole bunch of calories. Let's talk about more than just weight loss, though. Let's talk about every other facet of your life. When it comes to recording things, when it comes to getting things done, that's really one of the big keys. Like I said earlier, anything that's measured gets managed. If you're not measuring it, you're not measuring it. If you're not measuring it, then you're not managing it, right? So let's say it's something related to your kids. How many times did you tell your kids, I love you? Now, it sounds like a simple thing, and I say it all the time. And maybe you do, and maybe you don't. I don't know. But let's say you make a goal, you make an intentional goal to tell your kids, I love you 3 times a day. Once in the morning, hey, I love you, kid. Once in the afternoon, hey, good job. Great talking to you, if you talk to them on the phone or something like that when they're at school. Love you, kid. And then in the afternoon, you write that down. You do a little tally mark. And you can see, not only will that keep you on track because you want to hit those tally marks every day, but you'll be able to look back and see. And that will make an impression on your life. It really will. And same thing with your spouse. Absolutely, without a doubt. That compliments. If you're having difficulty with your relationship, a really good thing to do is to purposefully and intentionally compliment your wife or husband. Say 3 times a day, or start out with 1 time a day. 1 time a day, 1 compliment. Write down what that compliment was. Put that in your little journal. Make a little, again, all you need is a little notebook. You don't need anything fancy. I use a journal. I use a planning journal for all of my stuff that I measure and I manage. But you could use a little tiny notebook. Just put the date up at the top, and complimented my wife's new haircut. There you go. That's something that you did, that's something that you can measure. And then that will remind you the next day when you do it. Oh, I got to remember. I got to find something. And think about that for just a second. You've got to find something to compliment. Don't you think that will make you a better husband or wife? If you're looking for something to compliment in your spouse, don't you think that will make you better? If you're looking for an opportunity to tell your kids, I love you, 3 times a day, don't you think that'll make you a better father? Just think about that. And along those same lines, I find, without a doubt, people have lots of anxiety nowadays. And the antidote to anxiety is gratitude. So a big thing that I like to tell people to do is to write 3 things that they're grateful for every day. You could do it first thing in the morning. You can do it first thing in the evening. But if you write down those things that you're grateful for, that will overpower the anxiety. So you've got a lot of stress at work, a lot of people giving you trouble, lots of things going on. Maybe trouble in your marriage, maybe trouble at home with your kids, maybe your kids aren't doing very well at school. There's all these things that can build up with you and build up and cause all kinds of dread and sorrow and fear and anxiety. So how do you solve that? How do you solve that problem? Well, be grateful for what you do have. Do your legs work? Well, that's something to be grateful about. I know plenty of people that don't have that, um, that thing, that they don't have the ability to use their legs. So be grateful that you do. Do you have a house? I know lots of people that don't have houses. So there's something for you to be grateful for. And most of us, I know I'm absolutely in this category. I have so many things to be grateful for. I mean, just think about if you're having money problems. Think about the fact, do you have a bank account? If you have a bank account, that means that you have so much money, you need to pay someone to hold your money for you. Just think about that. That hasn't existed throughout history. That's not a thing. Like, that's not a thing that people had 100 years ago or 200 years ago. Common people. Yeah, sure, banks and banking has been around since, probably the Romans, maybe even before that. But that was for rich people. That wasn't for, commoners, people that work the fields and stuff. They didn't have so much money they needed to pay somebody to take care of their money for them. So if you're having money trouble, just think about that. You have that ability. So there's so many things to be grateful for. Take those things, take 3 things to be grateful for, and write those down every day. Measure the things, the activities that you want to measure. Things like complimenting your wife, things like telling your kids I love you, or your food, or the practical things. How many push-ups did you do every day? How many chin-ups? How many exercises did you make it to? How many workouts did you hit? Things like that. Take all of that stuff together, measure it, write it down, review it at the end of the week, and then see what you can add to it. And gradually build that up, expand on your daily logging, and improve every area of your life. When you find a deficit in one area, then add that to your list of stuff that you want to improve, start measuring it, and you will improve your life incrementally, step by step. I hope you found this helpful today. Hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you guys tomorrow for the Saturday sweat session. If you are in the group, if you are in my Falling Into Fitness group, I hope to see you there. If you're not in there, then just shoot me a message. I will add you in, and be sure to like, share, subscribe. Let everybody know that you got this. Hope you enjoyed it today, and hope you have a wonderful weekend. Take care, and bye-bye.